you don't own integrity, people won't believe that all the things you've accomplished.
And I think we don't always acknowledge how human beings, survived and evolved by having an instinct to hunt.
Name, call sign, and affiliation.
My name is Matt Morissette. I'm call sign Matty Mo, and I'm the co-founder / team captain of MoBros Airsoft.
And where are you from originally, and where do you reside now?
I've always been from New Hampshire. I currently reside in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Why do you stay in New England?
I've just always loved it. My family's here. My friends are here. Met my wife in Boston. Just I've always loved the New England area.
I think everybody has a very similar response.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're, people from New England tend to like to stay in New England, I found,
Mm-hmm.
or at least come back to it or something of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. I know some people that have no, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But people that love New England. I think for a good reason too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for work?
I am a estimator / project manager for a subcontracting drywall metal framing company in the southern New Hampshire area. I spend my day to day looking at blueprints, drawing lines, estimating how much these walls are going to cost, and actually physically running these projects, sending out change orders and stuff like that to general contractors in the area.
And how do you like it?
I love my job.
Yeah.
I absolutely love my job. I feel like I was made for this. I've been in the construction industry for about 10 years now. I started at the bottom, sweeping drywall dust off floors.
Yeah.
Worked my way up to a carpenter foreman, job site supervisor, project supervisor, and now project manager, and done that all in the past 10 years.
It feels good when you like your job.
It does.
Yeah. Makes life a lot easier. How did you get into airsoft?
I had a buddy of mine in high school back in 2009. A bunch of friends in high school played some backyard airsoft in Concord, New Hampshire. He told me to go out to a hobby store up there, buy a Elite Force MP5 and come out and play with them. That was the first time I ever played and ever touched an airsoft rifle, but I really didn't start getting into it until about 2011, 2012 when I was in college. I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, specifically Airsoft GI TV. Bob the Axeman Hildebrand, huge favorite of mine. And I just started watching this, and I remember, the one backyard game I played with a couple of buddies. I since sold the MP5, and I started realizing, there's more fields and stuff in the area. I'd like to get involved in this. So between college in Boston, going back and forth, I'd come home, I'd watch these videos, and my little brother, who's 9 years younger than me at the time, he'd watch the videos with me, and he'd also get really excited, and he wanted to come out and do it as well. So when I went out and bought my first gun, which was, aside from the MP5, obviously, it was a SEMA M14 SOCOM.
Nice.
I purchased that, and I had to get something for my brother too, so I could take him out with me to the field.
Yep.
So we went and purchased a AGM shotgun, just some quick 30-round pump action. I think it cost $40.
Yeah. Got him out on the field though, right?
Yeah, it got him out on the field. Exactly.
Yeah.
We went out to RPC for our first time in, I think, 2012, 2013, and we sucked.
Yeah.
we were horrible players, had no idea what we were doing, fogging like crazy, but we absolutely loved it. We were completely hooked on the sport. We saw a lot of the kits that a lot of other players were running and immediately, started adding stuff to our wish lists online. And then ever since then, we've really, really loved the sport.
All the people that we have talked to have very similar stories.
Yes.
That, I started backyard and then I went to a field, saw what everyone else is running that they've been playing for a long time, and I spent a lot of money.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, people looking at what we do might be hard to understand sometimes, but it is a very addictive sport.
It really is. It's that real life Call of Duty video game experience is the best way that I can put it.
Yeah.
My brother and I, with a 9-year age gap, it's kind of hard to find things, especially when I'm 22 years old at the time, and he's 9 years younger. There's not a lot that him and I have in common that we can do. I want to go to the bars and go drinking with my buddies and stuff at 22 years old in Boston, but I also want to hang out with my brother. So we play video games a lot. Airsoft was just the next step of that for us. and I think it created a really good brotherly bond between us.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a great point with the age gap. I'm 42. Austin's 23.
24.
Just turned 24. Luke's 26. 25. I'm close. I'm in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, and then we have kids on the team that are 10. And we have kids on the team that are 18, 16, a guy that's 50.
Yeah.
It really bridges that age gap for people. And when you have a team, I think it's really cool because all these kids and guys are teaching each other so much stuff, not just airsoft wise,
Yeah.
but life stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, and they have these people that the younger guys look up to the older guys, and they can learn a lot from them if you know you have reputable people on your team or whoever you're hanging out with. And I think that's so beneficial to a young man or young woman to have that age gap and be able to learn so much from all the different people
Oh,
around
absolutely. Absolutely.
you. How long has MoBros been a team, and how did it start?
So, obviously, my brother and I started playing 2013, but MoBros wasn't the first team we were ever on.
Okay.
A lot of people that have been in the community for a number of years, maybe at long bag as that, might remember a team known as Sith Squad. Myself and my brother were actually some of the founding members of that team. I actually developed their logo for them.
Okay.
After about 6 months to a year of being on that team, we didn't really like the direction it was going in. We just left and decided to just do our own thing as brothers. Go out on the field, have fun, bounce our tactics off of one another. And it was about 6 years later after we left Sith Squad, and my brother came to me and he said, listen, we're starting to get recognized on these fields, Feel Good Farms, RPC. We started having people recognize us as the Morissette brothers or the Mo Bros. And people knew that, you know, we had some skill behind us. We knew what we were doing out on the field after doing it for so many years that a lot of friends just kind of gravitated towards us and they said, hey, I want to be running with the Mo Bros today. I want to be a Mo Bro today. So my brother came to me and he said, we should really start our own team. We should call it the Mo Bros. More brothers. We keep on getting more brothers. Why don't we just make it a full team? And I didn't really want to do it at first. I still had a sour taste in my mouth from, you know, help founding of Sith Squads and stuff like that. So it took some convincing on my brother's behalf.
That's
but
natural.
He did convince me, and we did go about it with the goal in mind that we wanted this team to not just be something that's around for a couple of years. We want it to be something that lasts and lasts the test of time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've put together today.
That's awesome. You and I have spoken outside of right now about that, and we strive for a very similar thing, trying to set up a team that will last longer than everybody's attention span to play. That will, you know, will keep going and hoping. Like some of our guys have younger kids, and they're hoping that their kids, the team's still around to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's the right way to do it, man.
I think that a lot of teams come out at first and aspire to do that,
Yep.
but obviously life gets in the way.
Yep.
That's one of the important things of our team. You know, we tell all of our members, listen, you want to be a member, as long as you're still holding some sort of connection to the team and stuff like that, we're happy to have you involved, you know. But at the same time, your health, your family, your job, and then airsoft. You can't put that before all those things.
That's a main rule of ours. You know, some guys will feel guilty they can't make certain things. I'm like, dude, family always comes first.
Absolutely.
You know, airsoft, as much as someone like yourself or myself or our team members or a lot of people think we love the sport, we're playing toy guns in the woods. That's what we're doing, and big life issues are big life issues.
Yes.
You know, so I couldn't agree with you more on that. How much of your daily life is committed to airsoft, and in which ways?
A little bit every single day. Usually pop up on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm looking at event coordinators, what kind of events and stuff are coming up. I'm always looking for things that I think the guys on my team would be interested in attending.
You sure about that?
I'm also always talking to our team captains. We have some great team captains where
Sweet.
when the team started, I used to be the leader, the go-to. Everybody came to me for all the questions.
Oh, make sure that
I've
goes
since
to,
been able to
Boxer Hero.
delegate a lot of those responsibilities off to some very responsible team captains who share the same vision that me and my brother had when we started this team.
Yep.
So I talk to them almost on a daily basis, the team captains, you know, about either attendance at this event, booking the hotel for that event, hey, when are tickets going on sale, that sort of thing.
Okay. So I'm going to jump off script just a little bit.
Yep.
So what would you classify your role as Matty Mo on the MoBros?
I would guess you could say project manager.
Okay, all right.
Similar to what my job is, believe it or
Yeah.
not. I usually handle anything from, the team Gmail account. We have a Google Calendar invite process that we do. We send out our emails to everybody. I'm also in charge of operating and updating our team website. Most people that have gone to MoBrosAirsoft.com will see that there's a section there that says members only. It's password protected. Our members have that password, and there's things in there such as tactics and strategies for our team, links to, the Google Maps hotel that we're going to stay at and stuff of that nature. Things that are private that we want our team members to have access to, but they also have the ability to just look it up themselves on the team website. So those are sorts of things that I update regularly, as well as the status of our team bank account and stuff like that after going over it with the team captains and whatnot.
The behind the scenes guy.
Yeah, pretty much now, more behind the scenes.
But that's so important. That's something I've learned. Like, you're the organizer. You
Yeah.
make sure everything's heading in the right direction. And whether, I'm sure your guys do know, because I know,
Yeah.
Our guys know, like, that's very important to have on a team.
Absolutely.
And anyone that's aspiring to be a MoBros type team, that's very important to have.
There's a lot of responsibilities, I think, for anybody who's starting a team. I mean, back when I was the team leader, before we had the whole captain process and everything, a lot was on my shoulders. So it was more so than just, organizing the team website and stuff. I was also responsible to making sure that I tracked down every member of the team to make sure they got that information. I was also really, I felt heavily, I don't think required is the right word, but obligated almost, to attend every event that we have on our schedule.
I understand that completely.
And I'd feel really bad about myself if I wasn't able to do so.
And how do you feel now?
I feel great. Like a big load has been lifted off my shoulders of responsibility, because what these captains bring to the table is they're able to do a lot of those things that I used to have to do all by myself. One of the most grateful moments I've had ever being on this team was when I founded it. I was putting a lot of my own money into it. I was the one buying the team patches, shirts, and stuff of that nature. And I did it because I love the members of my team.
You had a vision.
I had a vision, and, my brother was a big help on that as well. But it got to a point where, a couple guys on the team, they stopped me and they said, "Who's making these patches?" I said, "Well, I've been buying them." "That's got to stop. We're going to give you money for it." And I think that's when I knew right there. I'm like, wow, this is really starting to blossom into something.
People have the love
more.
for it that you do.
Exactly.
They have the same vision. And that is a
Exactly.
great feeling.
It is.
It really is. Like what you're talking about, of that you don't need to go to every event.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stepping into that this year.
Yeah.
Because hearing the guys talk about going
Yep.
to other events, I know there's a good chance I won't be able to make faraway events.
Yeah.
Which is okay with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a part of me like, no, I need to be there.
Exactly.
I need to be there.
Exactly. No, I've had to pivot my own schedule for that. So I know a lot of people in New England are constantly asking me, "Hey, when are you coming out to Harris next, Coles and stuff?" And a lot of the time I'm not up here and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
The reason being is I've been putting more of my focus on those travel events.
Yeah.
So I can be there with a bulk of the guys on my team and, go out of state to Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and later this year I'm going to be going to Indiana. So
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
You were talking about that earlier to us. How do you like the travel airsoft aspect of the sport?
I absolutely love it. Most people, get paid time off with their job, right? And some people decide to just take a full week off, go visit a destination spot, maybe go down to the Caribbean or something like that. For me, having these travel events I can plan, I'll take the Friday before off, the Monday after off. It's a 4-day weekend vacation that I see, and I get to take with my extended bros or my extended family. And I just absolutely love that. It's like having 5 or 6 vacations a year compared to just one.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy? You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Oof. Man.
Good questions.
Thank you, man. No, it's like I said earlier, fucking love this sport.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing what I did for my kids and all the guys on the team, it's a confidence builder that I didn't have when I was their age. Like I just
Absolutely.
I'm sure I could have found one maybe, but for someone that likes military-esque stuff, I've always loved war movies. Always loved playing GI Joes when I was a kid, or military-esque video games, all that stuff, but never joined the military because I didn't have an interest in joining the military.
Me neither.
Right? I just didn't. I had nothing but respect for people that did. This sport just, if you're doing it from a good place mentally and emotionally, then the sky's the limit, man. You can do so much with it. And I think it's important for everyone to understand that. And that's another thing, that there are guys out there that think they're military and they're not.
There are. I've been.
Oh, yeah.
I myself have been mistaken at multiple events. You know, people come up to me and they say, "Hey, do you serve with the Army? You serve with the Air Force?" And, no, man, no. I've just never done that. I just played a lot of Battlefield 4. That's it.
And that's, I find that the amount of people that actually think that, because you hear that a lot when people are criticizing the sport, like, you guys think you're try-hard military guys, you're not even, like, most people don't think that.
No.
Most of us know that we're nerds.
Yeah.
But we just really appreciate this kind of sport.
Yeah.
It's like tag, hide and seek, dodgeball, all wrapped in the same same deal without having to get killed.
Neighborhood snowball fights, squirt gun fights in the summer. I mean, it's all the same.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What's your favorite thing about Airsoft?
My favorite thing, a lot of people would say, the players, the community. Some people would say the guns and the gear. My favorite thing is definitely the strategy. I have always loved problem solving. Math was my favorite class back in school and in college. And the problem solving aspect at these events that you can encounter as your squad leader, a platoon leader, or a commander, just something about that I've just fallen in love with over the past few years. There's nothing quite like it, in my opinion. I mean, when you're having to balance not only, making sure that your faction acquires an objective, or, make sure that you retrieve something out on the field, you also have to balance the relationships with just normal everyday people and, do your best to rally them to keep them on the field so that way your faction can, meet those goals. It's a balance and it's a challenge, and I absolutely love it.
Couldn't agree more with that. Were you a Stratego player?
Yeah, I was. Nice. I was a little bit, yeah.
Chess?
Yeah, a little bit of chess.
Right.
I was never really great at chess, but I do admire it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
was never great at it either. I do enjoy it, But as far as, so I've said it before, I think, but I have a wicked ADHD brain.
Same.
Right? And something I love about this sport is how many different facets of things you can get into, like whether it be you're playing the sport itself, right? You're teching on the guns, you're editing video footage, you're going to build at your local fields. For a guy with ADHD or anyone with ADHD, that helps me a lot to keep my interest in it, because when I'm getting tired of one aspect of it, there's something else I can do, but I'm still contributing to the Airsoft.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I love that about this.
No, absolutely. My first instinct was I actually loved getting on the ground, getting on the battle, being the door kicker. That's my early years. That's what I started off as. Now I'm moving more slowly into a commander, squad leader type role. I absolutely love that too. Lately, though, I've been finding that though I love being a squad leader, platoon leader, or a commander, I find that I want to pull back a little bit more so that way I can actually hang with the bros on my team.
Yeah.
Most of the time, when you're a platoon leader or commander, the team will be just a small squad aspect of that. So while I do get to hang out with them a little bit, I don't get to kick the door down with them, and I miss that a little bit. So
absolutely.
The past year or two, I've been trying to lean more towards a squad leader type role compared to platoon leader or commander.
Are you going to have someone else on your team fill your role for that and swap with them, or?
Yes, we're trying to bring up some guys in the team to fulfill those roles.
Awesome.
We have several guys on the team now, a couple of our captains actually, that are perfect for doing, either squad leader, fire team leader, and even platoon leader type roles.
Show me where they are.
We just want to
This is your main bridge.
try to bring
Show me where
everybody
they are.
up to that level on our teams and trying to even everybody out with the same skill.
So main bridge,
One of the things we've been doing
bridge is the area
to
over there.
accomplish that is
Here.
for the past 2
That's the
years,
front. Okay.
during our
In that
off
tent.
season, which is
They're in
usually
that
from
tent. So you have about
November
6 of them
to
in
April
that tent.
1st
They can't
every
fucking
year.
go
Yep.
anywhere with
We don't attend any events. We might hit a skirmish or two here and there, but the whole point is for our guys to save money for the upcoming travel season. and we will review via Discord calls with one another a couple of slideshows. We call it a team tactics and strategy course. We'll review everything from how to orient your magazines on your kit, how to weave molly, to more complicated things like setting up ambushes, doing bounding tactics when pushing on an objective, things of that nature.
Yeah.
This year, that's all culminating in our own first personal team training that's happening on the first weekend of May this year at a private location in New Hampshire. But
That's awesome.
yeah, we're really excited. And the thing that I love about it the most is a lot of people are sometimes afraid to ask, hey, how did you do this on your kit and stuff like that. By doing the Team Tactics and Strategies course, even something as simple as, hey, everybody, I know most of you know how to weave molly, but I promise there's somebody here who doesn't know how. We're all going to sit through together. We're all going to watch this video so everybody's on the same page. This is how it's done.
That's awesome. That's really looking out for your players.
Absolutely.
And by doing that, you really make it possible for the longevity of your team to be there.
Yeah.
So when you step away, there's someone who knows how to fill your shoes for that. And that's something that we do as well.
Yeah.
Because I know that everybody on our team really loves our team. Like a
Absolutely.
lot. It's like a huge part of their life. I always say, like, my family's up here, then it's Airsoft.
Yeah.
And then it's work. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And when people feel that passion about something that you've all created, it's a really special thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
What's your favorite platform to run?
Definitely the M4 platform. Like I stated, I started with the SEMA M14 SOCOM. Absolutely loved it because I was really into World War II videos and stuff like that, and I figured that's an upgraded version. But over the years, I've transitioned through a couple of different brands. So I started with the SEMA, then I moved over to a G&G combat machine. It was a custom one from Airsoft, GI. After that, my brother and I got really into the KWA 2GX style M4s. After that, we moved on to Crytek, and more recently, I've been running a lot of Specna Arms, Edge 2.0s, or this year is a Specna Prime. The M4 platform is something that I've just gotten really, really comfortable running.
Yeah.
It's muscle memory for me at this point.
Yeah.
I've tried to branch off, tried a couple of different things. GGP9, I think it was called. It was the 9mm pistol carbine version G&G came out with. I bought one of those, spent a lot of money on mags and stuff, and I ran it at 3 events and hated it.
Yeah,
So, I just went right back to the M4.
Yep.
But yeah, M4 platform is what I'm most comfortable with.
I agree. For me personally, I'm an M4 guy myself. There's times where I'm like, man, I'd love to try out an AK platform. I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm not going to like it. I just know that.
I say the same thing to myself because I really want to. I love the look of the AK.
It's an AK.
Especially when you're getting into the LARPing aspect. You know, if you're fighting for the infidels or something out on the field, you want to run that platform. But every time I put it in my hands and I go do my reloads, I'm like, God, this is so much slower.
Right? Yeah. It's because you don't know it.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's your favorite piece of kit? What do you enjoy the most?
I have an odd answer for this.
That's fine. I love odd answers.
And a lot of people think it's not an answer. A lot of people would say, hey, it's my gun itself, it's the sight. You know. I love my dump pouch. My dump pouch is the most versatile piece of kit that I carry out with me on the field all the time. And the reason I love it is it's so much more than just tossing empty mags into a bag, right? You can toss anything into that bag, an important piece of documentation that's needed for the Milsim event later. I don't have time to sort it out in my admin chest or whatever, into the dump pouch.
Dump and go.
Hey, here's that medic water, into the dump pouch, right? Hey, hold this small objective for us, into the dump pouch, right? When I get back to base, when I get back to spawn, I can sort that pouch out later, I will. But it's the most versatile piece of kit that I have. I absolutely love it. I recommend it to everybody on our team. If you don't have a dump pouch and you're a door kicker, you're looking for objectives and stuff to steal, man, that dump pouch could really help you.
That's a great answer. And it's funny, this question, we've asked everybody, and everybody's had a different answer, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so, for the next question as well, everyone's had a different answer, and it's really cool to see guys that have been doing this for a long time, what everybody's answer is. I think it's going to help people that maybe don't play Airsoft that often to think about some different pieces of their kit that can be very useful.
No, absolutely.
So followed by,
Yeah.
what is your most important piece of kit?
My dump pouch.
Your dump pouch. All right, all right, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I love it. Second to that, I would have to say my radio holster. I run, as you can see, I can run 2 radios here. I run 2 radios because I'm always in that squad leader, platoon leader type position. A lot of people say you can run 2 channels on 1 radio, but you can't transmit. And if you're in a pinch, it's easier to just grab a whole second speaker mic than to grab, one, change the channel and get into it. So I always run 2 radios. A good solid Kydex holster, I found it works a lot better with these Baofengs than a soft shell, pouch holster of that sort. Not that soft shell isn't bad, it works, but I don't know. The Kydex, I've banged against several doors, walls. It's held up, and it hasn't changed the settings on my radio accidentally.
Perfect,
So,
because that always sucks.
yeah, it does. It does. That's why I recommend the Kydex over it. The other important piece about that kit, a Kydex holster for your radio, is keeping it someplace accessible. You see a lot of new players, they'll get their radio, and the first thing they want to do is be like the Marines and throw it on their back panel. Highly unrecommended. Those Marines, they have radios that are pre-programmed for them by the military. Everything's all set up for them. They can risk that. But you as an airsofter, you might have put in that channel wrong, or you might be hot micing. It's a detriment to you and your squad if you cannot reach your radio to change those settings. So our team, one of the things we go over in our tactics and strategies courses is making sure that radio is in an accessible place. So if you need to take it out, change the settings, if you need to turn the volume off because you're hot micing, make sure you can reach all the connectors that you have for it. Very, very important, because if you leave it on your back, that means that you're having comms issues and a member of your team has to be taken out of the fight to help you fix those comms issues. 2 people down compared to just 1.
It's a very good point, and I will actually be thinking about that one quite a bit.
Yeah.
Very good point. What are your favorite brands for Airsoft?
So another controversial, maybe,
We've
answer.
had some, man. We've had some.
So, I love Specna Arms right now. I also have a soft spot for Crytek, but my favorite brand has been for a very long time Condor. Condor Outdoor Products. And I get a lot of heat from this, actually, in the Milsim community. People say it's horrible quality, it never holds up, rips, tears, and stuff on me. I've been playing for 13 years, and I've used nothing but Condor products in the past 13 years of playing Airsoft. And they have all held up. I actually have some pouches on this kit here that are 13 years old, and they're still holding up, holding magazines in them. They're still working. This whole kit actually is Condor, with the exception of, admin panel and a little pouch here and there. But no, absolutely love Condor products. I also have always found it to be a problem to justify that $300 price point for a plate carrier. I understand it's what the real steel guys use. It's a better quality, and that's great if, personal preference, to each their own. But for me, it's hard to justify spending $300 on something that I'm probably gonna want to change the look of, or probably trade in 6 months to a year, you know? So Condor has that low price point that lets me change my kit and change the style, change my pouches and stuff at a cheaper cost.
So I've heard a couple of people bring it up.
Yeah.
And I'll bring it up again. I don't understand why people do any sort of gear shaming at all, whether it's someone's guns or their kit. Why do you care? Why, it's like, if someone goes up, hey, that's really cool, you might like this, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. If you go, hey, man, that's a piece of shit, why do you have that?
Yeah.
Why? What's the point?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's... I think part of it is a point of pride. I think a part of it is, real steel gun owners. They look at products like Condor and they say, well, that would never work in a real steel environment. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not out here shooting a
real
real AR-15.
Yeah.
I'm not getting shot at by, 5.56. I'm getting shot at by 6mm. Yeah. Right? I think a lot of it has to do with pride. Some people want to justify that they spent that $300 price point, which, hey, if it's what you like, it's what you like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you want to spend $300, great. Don't shit on the guy for spending $50.
Absolutely.
It's just like, they're here playing. That's all that matters. I've just never gotten that. I haven't seen tons of it, but I've seen a bit.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why you care.
No, I think there's a couple of different factors that come in for any person that is looking to purchase a new piece of kit or gear, right? Comes down to a lot of it comes down to price, quality, and style. I think those are the three key factors that you're looking for when you're buying a piece of kit. So a lot of people are saying, okay, well, quality might be the most important for them. Well, if quality is the most important, you want the most quality insurance. Some people think that quality and price are equated to one another, but that's simply not the case.
Yeah, maybe it used to be, but not so much anymore.
You know, you go to some of these top gear manufacturers that people talk about, you go to their website, you want to go buy a plate carrier, and it's out of stock.
Yeah.
Well, it's out of stock because they have manufacturing issues. They can't meet the demand. Meanwhile, you go see Condor, it has that low price point, but you can find it anywhere.
Yeah.
They're meeting that production quality, which laws of supply and demand, it'll make the price point go lower.
Yeah.
Because they can mass produce these products.
Yep.
Quality-wise, sure, they might be missing a little bit on the quality inspections here and there, you know, getting it out the door a little bit quicker. But if it's worth the price point, and it's, most importantly, if it's a style that you like, I suggest you just buy it. Just buy what you like for your style, whether it be $300, $30, as long as you're happy with it and it works.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And I think if someone is encountering that kind of person that's shitting on your gear, just know it's a them issue. It's not a you issue.
I mean, I've been playing for, like I said, I've been playing for 13 years now.
Yeah.
And I've run nothing but Condor products for the past 13 years. That and a couple of extra pouches I bought on Amazon, you know, some weird names. And,
Yeah.
But no, and this stuff, this holds up for me, you know, and I've done my fair share of door kicking with this stuff, and it's still held up.
Like I said, this is not a professional thing. If people want to bitch about it, that's fine. Could care less. The people that matter to me seeing it aren't going to care about those things.
Yeah, right.
The people that want to bitch about audio or whatever, it's not bad enough where you should be bitching about it. There's a couple spots, but
Nope, there it is.
Yep. I don't like using my phone to do the questions. I like to write them out because I've noticed a couple times where I've forgotten to write them out. I have to use my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it while you're talking, and I can tell by someone's face. They're like, "Oh, he doesn't even care what I say." You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm just looking up the next question so I don't sit here like a dick. All right. Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
What would you like to see more of in the local airsoft community?
In the local community, I'd like to see more quality productions. I've been to quite a few Milsim events at this point, and one of the things that I've seen among my many travels is just more production value, more money being put into it by the event coordinator, which can be hard to do up here in the Northeast. It can definitely be hard for local fields to do it. And by more production value, I mean things that all these airsofters see on YouTube that they want to experience. For example, riding in a helicopter, right? There's a field out in New York, Zulu 24. They do 2 events every year where you can actually go to their one-day Milsim event and you can pay an extra fee to ride in a helicopter for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes during that event. Shoot down on everybody. It's a cool experience that I think that everybody in the New England community would love to experience if we have the ability to bring that up here. Other cool things that I've seen large pyrotechnical explosions at fields down in West Virginia, in skirmish paintball in Pennsylvania, just massive fireballs in the sky that really immerse you as a player into the lore and the story that they're trying to say. I've also come across staged helicopter crashes where there was so much smoke you couldn't even see through it.
I think I saw your pictures of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so it was just awesome things like that kind of just sound simple and a no-brainer, but there is a lot of insurance requirements behind that, and there's a lot of red tape that you got to get through. But I think if some of the fields here in New England can try to push past some of that red tape and try to get those sign-offs and stuff from their local towns, I think that you're going to see an uptick in airsofters coming out to fields up here, and I think that you're going to see not just one field doing it, but all the other fields kind of fall in line, and also create more of a quality production for the players.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
I know, talking from a lot of people from Harris this year, that their numbers are going up for how many people are getting into the sport, and I think if that number keeps going up and there's money to be made, 'cause that's just the way
Absolutely.
the world works,
Yes.
then I think it's a good chance that we see more of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I know for Harris, everything they make gets dumped back into the community in the field.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the more people we're having coming out, the more we're going to be able to hopefully see more of that production value.
No, something I would definitely love to see more of up here in the Northeast. The whole reason my team and I do a lot of travel events, why we leave New England often, is because most of the local fields up here just can't offer a lot of those experiences, you know, whether it be riding around in technicals, you know, or vehicle gameplay and stuff. There's a lot of fields that just aren't made for that up here in the New England area. Meanwhile, we can go to other fields down in West Virginia, Indiana, and we can find that stuff.
That's a great point.
But our team has always been about more brothers, more friendships, more experiences, and then bringing more players into the community. So if anybody's out there looking to go and experience some of those things, you know, you have the funds to be able to do it yourself, but you just don't have a team to roll with, hit us up. I mean, we're always looking for people to come out and play with us.
Yeah.
We're willing to share those experiences with others in the New England community. All you
Yeah,
gotta do is ask.
I can attest to that because you've asked me before,
Yeah.
and you just asked the guys before the show,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. You know, because to get 25 people out to something for us personally, that's tough.
It's very difficult,
You
you
know?
know, and nobody wants to go to any of these events, you know, without knowing somebody,
Yeah.
right? Two people don't just want to show up to a 400 player event and know nobody there and get thrown into a random squad. So, yeah, our team will have anywhere between 6 to 8 people, maybe more, come out to a lot of these events, and other people will just tag along, a lot of friends, you know, and it's just a great time. It really is.
What would you like to see less of in our community?
I would like to see less of the clout chasing, I guess, in the New England community. Not that there's a lot of it. There's a little bit, though, you know. I feel like a lot of people might get into Airsoft and think that it's all about the sponsors. I feel a lot of people might be in it to get a bigger name for themselves, to be in it for just getting the sponsors so they can get the kickbacks to do things in the sport cheaper for themselves. I mean, you want to be a person more about community and less about yourself, you know? That's something I'd like to see a little bit less of. I feel like like I said, it's not a lot, but there is a few players out there that are just focused on them and making sure that their name gets out, you know, compared to sharing it with everyone else. This is why I was very happy that you guys, you know, invited me to come and be a part of this interview process and stuff, because it's all about community, man. That's something that's very important to me and to my team.
Yeah, I mean, as it should be. If you don't have good relationships in your community and you're not building a community, then there's not going to be a community, and then you're not going to have a sport.
You're right.
Know, it's, I know for us, we started playing out 2 years ago. Before that, we spent 5 years as pretty much as a team is now, plus more now. But like, we came very well prepared for the most part, sweatshirts and all this shit. People are like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, right.
You know, and we didn't roll onto the field thinking we're the shit. We have sweatshirts because it feels good. We feel
Yeah.
like we're a part of something. You know,
Absolutely.
and like, I love getting pictures from people on the team, just random pictures of them doing life shit, but they have their hoodies on. And you know, some of the girlfriends have hoodies, and I love
Yeah.
seeing that. I'm like, they feel like they're a part of something. And
Absolutely.
that's the whole point of sweatshirts or T-shirts like you have. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not for clout chasing.
No,
you know?
it's not. It's for building community and
Yeah.
just, you know, building awareness. I'd love to get one of your two sweatshirts, actually. If you guys are selling them, I'd love to buy one.
Thank you.
I've got a couple. I've been some of my friends out in New York, Task Force Diamond. They surprised me in an event a year or two ago. They had team T-shirts made with all their team numbers and stuff on there, and they looked me up online. They saw my team number was M24.
Yeah.
And they made me a team T-shirt.
That's awesome.
with my name, Matty Mo, right off the
That's
back and
awesome.
stuff. I was really flattered, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about, right? It's
Yeah.
about building community, getting along with one another. You know, at the end of the day, none of these teams are at each other's throats. There's no rivalries or anything like that. We're just all in it to have a good time and get to meet more people, grow
So-
the community.
Something that I've heard from some other teams is they're wanting a healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. You know, teams that you can beat the shit out of each other on the field, but afterward you're like, dude, that was great, that was fantastic. You know, but you can
Absolutely.
do that, not like, oh, you fucking overshot me, you did
Yeah.
this, you that. You
Yeah,
know? But
yeah.
like having that healthy rivalry, I think helps the sport if it's healthy.
I think a lot of people want that, yeah. And it's something that I've actually experienced outside of New England with all the travel that we've done.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams that we're friends with out in New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, I mean, these are teams that will say, hey, we're going out to this event. Are you guys going? Yeah, but we're going for the other team. All right, cool. Let's hang out when we're there, and let's make sure we all go out to dinner after the event.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll just exchange stories out on the field and stuff. We'll get pictures with each other, you know. I'm pretty sure there's a few pictures floating out there on social media of me playing dead, you know, with a buddy or two that has captured me and stuff, and vice versa, you know.
Yeah.
There's videos of me executing a couple of buddies of mine that were playing for the opposite team and stuff. It's just good fun.
Absolutely.
You know, and all it does is just strengthen our community by
Yep.
having that sort of, like you said,
Yep.
friendly rivalry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're making friends, and
Yep.
that makes it all grow. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Little yipping dog. What is your favorite kind of airsoft player to see on the field?
My favorite type of airsoft player to see has to be the ones with the large age gaps, like me and my brother, right? Brothers that hit the field together, or the dad and son, you know, duos. I love seeing that because it brings me back to when I started with my brother that first time at RPC, me being 22, him being 13, and just having an absolute blast. You know, I love seeing those duos on the field.
Yeah.
It just means that the sport's just going to continue.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things to see
Yeah.
too. I always love running into the father sons, because
Yeah.
that's, to me, that's a personal note for
Yeah,
me, because that's how I
absolutely.
started the sport in the first place, and wanting to see my sons enjoy something other than video games, and you know, we've been playing ever since, and we're going into season 10.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
and they love it, and
And that's why I think that's one of the reasons why my brother and I, we loved traveling out so often to go play at the Grimnir Tactical events. A lot of people don't know this, but Rabbit and Doc, they are brothers, and they started that entire thing. Their dad is in the military.
Yeah.
He would go out and play some Milson West events and stuff with them as well. So it's a real family aspect, and that's something that, you know, obviously we gravitated towards because MoBros relates the exact same way.
Yeah.
That's how our founding was started.
yep.
So.
I've been trying to get my daughter and wife out there. My wife used to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she used to play, and she was good. But my daughter's, no. I've been trying, man.
I've been trying to get my wife to come out for the past 13 years, and she says no.
Yeah. And my wife did, and she had a good time, but she stopped. But my daughter's 14, and she's athletic.
Yep.
She doesn't like the feeling of being hunted, which I can understand. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, but,
Yeah.
and I'm like, girl, you would be so good at this sport. You'd be so good.
You're gonna be the hunter.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know,
Oh, that's-
I'm trying. I'm not giving up the fight.
Yeah.
I will continue to try. You know, but
I mean, we got some videos on the MoBros YouTube channel. I forget what it's called, but we got one on there with my brother Matty Mo. He is the high value target, and everybody on the field's hunting for him. It was a great video.
Yeah.
He got like 6 kills with an axe because that's all he's armed with. It was
That's awesome.
really, really cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite kind of player to see on the field?
I don't really think I have one.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people might just be like, oh, the cheater, or some people say speed softers for some reason, which I've never really understood. I think, you know, all players bring a different aspect to the field, whether you show up with your foam Nerf swords and stuff, or you show up there in your speed soft loadout for an outdoor event. I mean, I don't really have any players that I look at that I'm just like, oh gosh, that guy's there. Like, it's
yeah.
never really been a thing for me.
Okay. All right, that's
yeah.
fair. That's great.
Yeah.
Where do you hope to see the sport of airsoft in the next 5 years?
So it's something that's really lacking in the New England area. Southern New England, they have a lot of this, you know, 1, 2, maybe 3 fields. But here in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, we don't have any indoor fields, and that's something that I really, really would love to see. I've often thought about possibly, when I decide to retire from going to events and stuff, possibly opening up my own field. And if I were to do that, I'd want it to be an indoor field. It's something that we don't have up here, and I know that there are players that are craving for that indoor experience. I was fortunate enough 2 years ago to go down to CIA Airsoft down in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah.
It's a newer field that's been around, I think maybe like 4 or 5 years now. So recently developed. Talk with the owner a little bit about some of the troubles that he had bringing up the field, and what he's doing now to stay relevant in the Speedsoft community. There's a whole different team aspect to indoor airsoft that I've always been very interested in. The only reason I don't play it is there's no fields really close to me. I don't really feel I don't really feel like driving 2 to 2.5 hours down to Rhode Island to go play an indoor game and then drive 2.5 hours back. If that's something that myself or somebody else could bring to the southern New Hampshire area, the Portland, Maine area, I think you would see a huge uptick in players, and I think you'd see a lot more teams popping up around here if that happened. I'd love to see that.
So every time that you drive by, what you see would be a suitable building for sale. Do you think about it?
I do.
I
do every single time.
Yeah.
Every time I see that warehouse, I just
oh man, that'd be perfect. There's one on Route 1 in Kittery.
Yeah.
Right outside the outlets. It's a big place.
I know.
It used to be a warehouse.
I know.
And my wife's like, you should open that up for. I'm like, I don't have the money to do something like that. It's perfect. It's right off the highway.
Yeah.
It's right on Route 1. Good sized parking lot. Big sized building. There's even another level to it. There's like one part of the building with 2 levels, and that's really like a great office.
Yeah.
My brain's going like, oh,
I know, right? I do the same thing.
Right?
I do the same thing. The thing a lot of people don't realize though, and if you talk to field owners, I've talked a lot with Dave from Zulu 24. I've talked a lot from Gordon from Stag Ops. I talked a lot with Rabbit and Doc from Grimnir Tactical. All these guys will tell you the same thing. You don't get into the airsoft business to make money.
Yeah.
You get into it because it's something that you love.
Yep.
I've often thought if I was to get into the airsoft business, start my own field or something like that, it would need to be after I've accomplished my own personal goals in my life.
Yep.
See where my own career headed, and if I do have the extra funds to be able to invest in something like that, I would really want to.
Yeah.
It seems like a great way for me to be able to give back to the community that's given so much to me and my team for the past 13 years for me and 5 years for my team.
Yep. All right, man, we're there.
Yeah.
What advice can you give to new airsofters looking to get into the sport, or maybe looking to get on a team, or any advice you can give?
I guess the best advice I can give is be outgoing and don't be afraid to go out and try new experiences, even if it is on your own, right? You'll find that not only in New England, but also outside of New England, that every player has been where you are before, especially if you're new, first time going out, you're nervous. Hey, are people going to be cool? People are going to be nice? They will. They've all started in your shoes before, I promise you. They're all going to be eager to show you things and help you through things, whether it's as simple as orienting your kit, or programming your radio, showing you, hey, maybe you shouldn't be wearing sneakers out on the field, maybe get some boots on, things of that nature. Everybody's in the community throughout the East Coast is there to help you. So don't be afraid to limit yourself on experiences just because of what's in your own backyard. Plan some time off, budget some money, go attend some of those events that you want to do. You want to go fly in the helicopter at Zulu 24? Look it up. Go do it. Even if it's by yourself, I promise you're going to have a couple friends to go with you. And if you're looking for a team to go with you, just reach out to the bros. We're always looking for friends to join us and experience some of these things the community has to offer.
I think it's a really cool thing that you guys do like that, having people jump on just to experience the different things you guys do with a group that they know. And if you're going to a place like Indiana, and having a group of people just from New England, even if you might not know the bros all that well, that they're from New England. So you have that in common. So
Exactly.
That's really cool, man. I love what you're doing.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you very much for sitting with us and taking the time out of your life to do so. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Thanks, man. We're good.